The funny thing about small talk is that most people look at it like the opening band at a concert, something you suffer through to get to the main event. Deep conversations, real connections. That's what we all want, right? But if you leave your phone for 2 minutes and actually look around, you'd realize something important. Every interaction, every relationship starts with small talk. Even your best friend once started with, "So, what classes are you taking?" or some equally awkward nonsense. Now, here's an unpopular take. Small talk is not about what you say. Well, not really. It's actually about making the other person feel like a human instead of a Sims character waiting for input. That's it. You don't need a cheat code, a script, or even charisma. You only need to learn one thing: active observation. I know, it sounds like something a nerd would say, but hear me out. Active observation means paying attention to the person in front of you like they're the only thing that exists in that moment. Not their vibe, not their aura. Actual, tangible details. Their shirt, their drink, the way they keep glancing at the clock like they'd rather be anywhere else. You notice these things, and then you comment on them in a way that invites, not demands, a response. Honestly, I could end the video right here, but stay with me. Here's why this works. First, people love to feel seen. Not in a cringe, "you're so deep and mysterious" way, but in a simple, "hey, I noticed you exist" way. That's basic psychology. Humans are hardwired to crave acknowledgement. Second, it's disarming. When you make an observation, you're not putting pressure on them to perform. You're not hitting them with, "So, what do you do?" or "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" You're just tossing a ball in their direction and seeing if they want to throw it back. Here's an example. You're at a coffee shop and the person next to you is holding a book. Most people would say, "What are you reading?" because they think that's polite. Wrong. That's pressure. You're asking them to explain, justify, or summarize, and no one wants to do that. Instead, you say, "That book looks like it's been through some things." Boom! You've made an observation. Neutral, but interesting. Maybe they laugh and say, "Yeah, it's my third reread." Maybe they say, "It's terrible, I just want to finish it out of spite." Either way, you've started a conversation without making them feel like they're being interviewed. Another example. You're at a party, which, if you're an introvert, is probably your worst nightmare. Someone walks by holding a plate of food that looks questionable. Instead of hiding in the corner, you say, "Is that the chicken? It looks like it fought back." You're not asking a question. You're making an observation and inviting humor. They might laugh. They might defend the chicken. Either way, the door is open. That's the beauty of active observation. It works everywhere. Work meetings, first dates, family gatherings. It's flexible, simple, and best of all, it takes the focus off you. You don't have to be charming or witty. You just have to notice stuff and point it out. Now let's talk about what this looks like in practice. First, you need to train yourself to notice details. Put your phone down, take your headphones out. Pay attention to your surroundings like you're the main character in a detective show. What are people wearing? Are they fidgeting, checking their watch, scrolling aggressively on their phone? These little things tell you a lot. Second, practice turning those observations into comments. This is where people overthink. They worry about sounding weird or intrusive. But the truth is, no one cares as much as you think they do. If someone's wearing a bright yellow jacket, you can just say, "That's a bold color choice. I respect it." Done. Finally, get comfortable with silence. Not every observation will lead to a conversation, and that's fine. The goal isn't to force anything. It's to give people the option to engage. If they don't, you move on. No harm, no foul. The more you do this, the more you realize small talk isn't about impressing people or proving you're interesting. It's about being present and making people feel seen. That's it. And once you get good at it, it's actually kind of fun. You start to notice things. You start to enjoy how people react. Small talk stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a game. Think about it. When was the last time someone genuinely noticed something about you and mentioned it in a non-weird way? Probably not recently. People are too caught up in their own heads, so when you do it, it's like a glitch in the matrix. One last example. You're at a Halloween party. Someone walks in wearing a tie with tiny rubber ducks on it. Most people would ignore it or say something boring like, "Nice tie." Not you. You say, "Okay, I need to know the story behind the ducks." Now it's personal. You've turned an accessory into a conversation starter. This works with anything: shoes, coffee orders, dogs. I feel like your dog judges people, and I respect that. Just make sure you mean it. People can smell fake interest from a mile away. Small talk isn't shallow if you're actually paying attention. It's just the first layer. So next time you're in line at a coffee shop, notice the person in front of you. Pick one thing. Make a comment. See what happens. Worst case, nothing. Best case, you just made a connection.